Every time I log onto YouTube, I see everyone doing massive building with the help of Word Edit. I've been seeing them for years. So today, I wanted to make my own. But where would I even begin? I mean, in a game like Minecraft, the possibilities are endless. But I'm lazy. Well, sorta. And I didn't feel like planning out an exact build at first, cause this isn't really my style, I mostly go with vibe. So I decided to turn an old drawing I made into a giant Minecraft build. But not too giant, you know, cause this is my first time. So just big enough for people to go, wow. And this photo starts with a map. You see, I lied. Lying is a literary device used to deceive the person you're talking to. And we're not just learning word edit, we're also learning WorldPainter. Because a build is imposing, is our throne just as imposing, doesn't it? I'll be following JeraCraft tutorial for this video. Link in the description. Also, if you are JeraCraft, hey, I really like what you do. You're awesome. The drawing I made isn't an ordinary castle. It can actually move around, by being pulled. But for the sake of this build, I wanted to simply make it tower over a forest, as its final resting place, so to speak. So I decided to do just that, by creating a somewhat flat mountain that would be covered in soil and desolated ground. And not very realistic, I'll admit, but hey, it's pretty cool. Okay, so the road is here. The candles here, the flower. Let's just see if things worked out. Yeah, don't worry, I know what I'm doing. I have no idea what I'm doing. But yeah, let's go. Okay. That's okay, that's actually really fucking good. And that's enough space to do what I wanna do. Okay. It's a lot less tree than I expected. I'll have to increase the brush. Yeah, no, this is exactly what I asked. This is really good. This is really good, what the fuck? This is really good, what the fuck? Okay. Let's try again. After going back to WorldPainter to do a few more tweaks, here and there, mostly at this lovely forest we're in right now, I was fully satisfied with the map. Well, sorta. Hindsight is 2020. 6. And in retrospective, a snowy mountain would have definitely been more fitting of the whole thing. But hey, what can you do? Something, learning from your mistake and whatever. But now that the map itself is prepared, it's about time we start the build itself, don't you think? Phew. This isn't the castle. It's just that before we start, I have a confession to make. If you've read the title, you are probably confused, as it says learn in Axiom, and not word edit. You see, I lied. Lying is a but more seriously, as I was searching a way to record this video using replay mode, I fell on a Mogswamp video talking about another mod, flashback. Never in my entire life have I felt so old and out of touch, and I'm only in my 20s. In this video I also talked about Axiom a bit, since it's made by the same developers, so one thing led to another and I shifted my focus to learning Axiom. I'll still mention Grian and GeminiTray, since I watched those two to learn about word edit, and they were quite useful. I want to shout at Opticality as well, whose video helped me learn flashback, and also Mogswamp, of course, which is a big inspiration for everything, really. This community is awesome. But anyway, now it's time to actually learn Axiom. I'm sure it's gonna be easy. What the fuck, my man? Are you serious right now? Why do you do this? What do you? Those clips in my editing were called pain. I was not okay. Jesus Christ. You see, for this project, I fixed myself the objective of finishing this in 1 week. And those first few hours were, well, painful. I know, I'm a lyrical genius. But once I understood what the mod asked of me, but once I... Okay, what is this script? But once I understood what the mod asked of me in exchange for its services... look, I learned Axiom, okay? It was just pure suffering at first, but I got the end of it. But for now, just look at my suffering. Well, I'm exaggerating. It wasn't that difficult, and honestly, props to the team behind the mod for making it so easy and interactable. I really don't have the most powerful PC, and still, I managed to use the mod to its full potential, as you'll see later. But for now, since the base is ready, let's check out our blueprints. I made this drawing for in October of around 2023, I think. So yeah, I've had it for a while, and honestly, I'm proud of it. Considering I don't often draw architecture, I think I did a really good job. Remember that. But yeah, to start off, we're going to make the main building, which sits up front. The church. Since the church is going to be the centerpiece, I have to make it perfect. It will be what people's eyes will be directed to first after all. If it's a big clock and arched roof, it's quite easy to figure out the composition, is what I told myself, and then I made this. Oh boy, yeah, not very glorious, is it? But honestly, at this point, I was kind of tired, and decided this was good enough, so I called it a day. Zeus! Starting day 2, it was time to kill religion, or rather just the church. Since, like I said, the design really wasn't good. The frame was too large, the clock was too small, that gradient, it was good, but it didn't fit the aesthetic I was going for. So I scratched the whole thing, and to be fair, it was at that point I felt pretty confident in my handling of the mod, so it didn't take long. Okay, so from the drawing, looks like the windows are like going inward, like carving inside the building. I have no idea how to explain it, but yeah, that's boring and kind of dumb, and I don't like it, so I'm just gonna create a frame real quick and paste it around. Let's do this. I also added the two towers at the front, as well as the tower on the left, since they're supposed to be the same. And overall, the result is much closer to what I had in mind. A larger frame, better gradients that fit closer to the atmosphere I want to present, and finally, a big clock. Once I was done with the church, I went to sleep. Because as much as I enjoy playing Minecraft, I have a life, so that's what I did for day 2. Well, in the game at least. Since I was still planning in my head what I'd do for... It's free real estate. And one of the things I had to plan for was the fact that, once again, I had aimed too small, and had to elevate the entire platform. The castle was resting on. How could my computer handle this? Well, quite easily actually. This mod is very well optimized. I also added the multiple pillars scattered around the base, which I don't really know why I haven't added them earlier, but here they are. But now that the base was heightened, I could focus on the second most important building, or at least my pit art. I'm talking about that massive house in the back, that, since I suck at architecture, will be towering in the back. The thing will be 3-story high, absolutely massive.
If you're gonna play like that, you better have shockwaves to finish the job.
I ended up making the final shape a simple rectangle, since I also have to account for the square tower on its right, and having the house in the shape of a T would take too much space. especially since I plan on making this whole thing navigable, on foot. We'll see more of it later, but for now, I also added the tower on the right of the church, and for day 3, that's pretty much it. But I'll pick up the slack on day 4, don't worry. For day 4, I mostly focus on putting the final touch on the church, aka the massive tower I had somehow forgotten, since it blended in with the others. This art is so readable the more you look at it. But yeah, since it was supposed to be bigger, I made sure it would stand out more, while still feeling somewhat connected to the church overall. I'm very happy with the result, and it's really starting to feel like this whole project is coming together. After I was done with the church tower, I moved on to that weird square tower to the right of the house. I don't really know if there's a name for it, but it looks nice. Anyways, I wanted to try something else for it, since the structure is really different from the other building. So I made sure to be as blocky as possible with the details, except for certain aspects like the windows. Windows in quotation, cause they're just holes, but anyways. I also decided to switch up the gradient a little, by giving our wonderful tower a rusted crust, to show it's been through ages of battle and hardship, giving it more character, and voila, our square tower is done, and so is day 4. As day 5 started, it was finally time to take care of the big boy, the main house towering over the entirety of the castle. This thing is massive, I'm talking ginormous. If a singular Minecraft block is considered to be 1 meter, this house is over 90 meters, without the tower. Speaking of, let's put it on, shall we? For this tower, I decided to try something new. You see, this tower is the largest one out of them all. And to show that it's quite unique, I decided to give it a blue gradient, to make it contrast more with the others and attract the eyes. Once the house was fully completed, I decided to readjust the tower scattered around, since their placement compared to the other building didn't make much sense anymore. And finally, I added the different beaches that connect each tower together. And that was day 5, so moving on to... I messed up. While recording some beauty shot for the video, Minecraft crashed, and flashback didn't save the recording. The entire day is gone, which sucks cause it was literally the end of the road. The project was done. I was done. But let's just go through and do a small recap of what happened that day. For this day, I added the final 2 towers, the second and third biggest after our main boy. And to show how imposing they are, I also gave them a unique gradient that contrasts with the rest of the build. I also added the final bridge between the left biggest tower and... Wait, where does this even connect? Yeah sure, I just connected it directly to the house, that makes sense, whatever. But now that all the buildings are done, it's time to focus on smaller details, like those stairs next to the church, that allow access to the house. I also had to elevate this whole section actually since I suck at perspective and it looked weird otherwise. But after all of that, I finished a few lower sections that could actually be seen when perspective is applied. Created the massive entrance around the base, and a small dock for fishing? I don't know. But after a few tweaks here and there, it's all done. All in a week. Well, sort of. You see, I had multiple days when I didn't work on the project, because I was working on other stuff. But if you accumulate the time I spent on all this, you get around... Eh? Yeah, I lied. Lying is a literary but anyways, now that it's all done, why don't we go out there and check out the whole thing? Let's go!